We recently had another satanic white party Beyonce performance, and just the next day, Jay Z got hit with a huge loss by Latina judge Annalisa Torres, who basically called his lawyer a nuisance and all the nonsense that he's been doing hasn't been helping Jay Z at all, ruling that the woman accusing Jay Z can remain anonymous until the trial. Now, the reason why I highlighted that she's Latina because there's this whole thing with FBA's foundational Black Americans being mad at Latinos for daring to claim that they had a hand in uh, creating hip hop. Yeah, they better hope she's not a fan of Fat Joe because she may seek a victory for Latinos by civilly uh, punishing Jay Z. But first, let's go to the Beyonce thing. So the day before Jay Z caught a loss, the Beyonce worshippers celebrated the continued invasion of country music by an ever whitening Beyonce, who performed, I believe, at the halftime show of some football game, which I think was on Netflix because I saw NFL on Netflix trending. And, I saw the panel of people talking about NFL or being the NFL on Netflix. And, as expected, it fit every diversity quota you can imagine. It's Netflix after all. But yeah, I mean, with Beyonce, not just with the symbolic all white and the invasion of country music, but there was a lot of clear symbolism. Shout out to LNC for covering this particular story, where she was throwing up, all types of, double signs, satanic symbolism, even appeared to be on the cross. I know the other thing that people did highlight was the sort of gun gestures that she did, which apparently is outlawed in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, I just find it comical, just the aesthetic alone, going from Super Pro Black Panther during the Super Bowl a couple of years ago to all white invasion into country music, trying to be uh, hillbilly, hillbilly women and men. And another thing you notice is that pretty much all of her male performers are homosexual. So you have that angle as well. And again, the genre of country music in general has pretty much been destroyed past few decades. It really was highlighted when, they platformed someone like Taylor Swift. But they've been doing it for years now, even before Beyonce talked about further destroying country western music. But yeah, Beyonce is most definitely aiding in that destruction. But anyway, this whole performance, someone could see it as a ritual for aiding or showing the powers that be that we're on your side as the Carter Knowles family, or it could be a symbolic gesture of Beyonce saying, "You can have them. I want to divest anyway," because clearly Beyonce is trying her very hardest to become a white woman, and the only way she can fully complete that task is by getting a white man herself, like her good friend Serena Williams. Because the reality is, if Beyonce does leave Jay Z, that helps her career more. Oh, there you go, feminists. There you go. You're a real feminist. Because, part of this whole conundrum with Jay Z and not believing his accuser is that, you know, Beyonce is one of the top performative feminists, and their mantra is all about believing women. And particularly believing women when they accuse powerful men of things. And it's just showcasing of, yet more hypocrisy on their end when now it's okay to question women accusing powerful men of things. Because, that's what Hollywood Me Too is all about. Just believe every woman that accuses a man in a power position. And just accusing men in general, whether they're in Hollywood or out Hollywood. Because you've seen virtually no victims, as far as people being accused, be women, and they suffer serious consequences. But anyway, yeah, she ditches Jay Z. She'll just get more fanfare, and the next album, sort of speaking on it, like a Lemonade 2, that album would probably reach and even pass Taylor Swift numbers. Which is the person she's trying to compete with. Who, based on the numbers right now, she's not. She's not competing with her at all. I mean, I saw the results of her movie versus Taylor Swift's movie. Just using that as a prime example. But yeah, a post Jay Z career would most definitely set up the second stage of her career. You know, throughout the rest of her to carry her out throughout the rest of her 40s into her 50s and even 60s. And it would probably even help elevate her sister's career and Solange knows because people would be like, "Oh yeah, Solange was right. See, yeah, we knew Tina knows meant to like that post, basically saying Jay Z was guilty right along with P Diddy." Which again brings me to this situation with the judge, as I stated before, calling out Jay Z's lawyer for being basically for being very hectic and unprofessional and disrespectful, and pretty much shutting him down to say that the accuser, will keep her uh, anonymity, and if he continues with the incendiary accusations, that she's just not going to hear it. So she's making it clear that Shapiro just better shut up and wait until they have to deal with it in court sometime in the year 2025. Which again I find particularly comical because he's one of these people that got on board with the male feminist propaganda. So to suffer at the hands of that very same male feminist propaganda that hurts other men, you fall at that sword as well, then that's all on you. And especially even more so when you're talking about a rapper like Jay Z, who's built his career off of bragging about being a criminal. And so if you see that as something that needs to be bragged about, then again, you get no sympathy for me when you actually have to suffer the consequence of that lifestyle that you promote. And I mean, maybe just maybe the judge being appointed by Obama, that'll come in to work out for him, since he was a loud and proud Obama fanboy. I mean, again, he's just like every other black celeb shielding for the Democrat Party. But as we know, when they're ready to make sacrificial lambs within liberal ideology, the first sacrificial lambs are going to be men, and particularly heterosexual, at least publicly heterosexual men, are going to be the ones they're willing to sacrifice. And Jay Z fits that bill. But anyway, ultimately, we're going to see what happens with this. But yeah, it was very timely that you get the supposed win for the Carter Knowles family with the satanic Beyonce performance, and then the following day, Jay Z get this bad news and gets pretty much told that his lawyer sucks and is not helping him out at all. Again, it could just be symbolic that the ritual failed for the Carter Knowles family, or the ritual during that performance at the NFL halftime show, that ritual was actually a success, just not for Carter Knowles, just for the Knowles family, with Carter the following day being the willing sacrifice being made. But anyway, we shall see what happens with the rest of this story.